Hey guys, it's Michael in Las Vegas. Wanted to get my video out on time this week. Imagine that. Talk a little bit about my placement at Southern Nevada Children's First. Real brief reminder overview, kind of working with kids 2 to 7, some unmanageability issues, very likely, coming from parents, lack of parenting skills. So we're working with parents. They're doing some amazing work. I was going to do my safety video today, but actually, it's kind of boring. I mean, I'm going to try to find something a little more romantic when it comes to the safety because the building is actually a converted child care facility that was purpose built. So it's actually a very, very secure building. Um, so that being said, I'm going to have to try to figure out some pretty cool stuff that's kind of gone down, or maybe talk a little bit about later about how they've kind of had to retrofit a few of the rooms just to make them a little more safer. But for the most part, I'm going to hold off on my safety video. I wanted to talk specifically today about some case management, specifically assessments. I was working with a 14-year-old girl. She was suicidal a couple months back. One thing leads to another. She ends up at our placement after 7 or 10 days at the hospital. I've worked with kids a lot, kids, substance abuse. Um, this young lady's real tough, man. She's a tough nut to crack. We've seen her a few times, and either she is not depressed or suicidal, and therefore really doesn't have anything to talk about as far as that. Maybe she was just, hey, the world would be better off without me kind of thing. You might not see me tomorrow. So either she's, I don't, either, of course haven't been doing mental health therapy per se, mostly substance abuse, but this kid's, we've seen her, more than a few times, and I don't exactly know how to reach her to get her talking if there's even anything to talk about. Um, which kind of leads me to believe that maybe there's just simply nothing there. She's talking and responding to questions. She's not. Uh, she's a kid that's not giving any information. She's keeping everything close to the vest, um, but she's answering all the questions. She's not evading questions. She's not, um, giving simple yes and no word answers. She's kind of like, hey, come on your answers, and I've raised a lot of kids, and I've worked with a lot of youth, and I really just don't know where to go with this girl. I don't know, you know, if I even know the questions to ask. We talked about the role of therapy. She doesn't think she needs to be there. She's summer break. She wants to be out having fun. Um, but she's just a tough one, and I'm kind of wondering now, despite the fact that she does a depression scale every week when she comes in, and she classifies on this very, very, very simple scale as being depressed based on what somebody decided was depressed for points. Um, I don't know that I'm seeing it. I'd hate to be that guy that says, "Hey, mom, you know, we did what we could," and her do something horrible to herself. Um, but I'm just kind of wondering, how do you guys, the instructor, different people, deal with people in therapy that likely should not be there? Um, this is kind of one of those things where every question I would ask a healthy 14-year-old, those are the answers that I'm getting from her. So I've got this internal struggle thing to where I don't know if they're keeping her on because she's got, Cadillac insurance, or if there's just something that's going to be peeled back at some point that my agency field instructor kind of is able to see there. I would be very, very surprised if this child ended up having anything very significant wrong with her at all. Um, if she was my kid, I wouldn't be scared of anything. She's really doing really good. She's, um, getting A's and B's at school. She's playing school volleyball. She's just a rock star little kid who had a rough time and probably did or said some things that she probably didn't mean. Um, but I guess my question for you guys is that how do you guys deal with the clients here? We're servicing him, her, um, but we're really not seeing that there's a real need for intervention. I can appreciate my agency's position that, of course, they want to cover all the bases. The child was referred after X amount of days, in the hospital where they essentially determined that she's kind of okay. And also it's income. And so just kind of wanted to put that out there, float that, and just kind of get you guys to tell me a little bit about, you know, do you have clients that you kind of feel maybe don't meet real criteria for intervention? Or is it more one of those things, hey, Mike, no, you really need to work with this kid, um, because the longer and longer and longer you do, eventually she's going to start opening up or whatever the case may be. I don't think it's a rapport thing. I think I have an excellent rapport with her. I met with her today. She's just, like I said, a rock star kid. She's she's not evasive by any means, but I just don't know if I don't know if her parents have her there just to teach her a lesson. And again, I don't know if my agency has her there because they need the work. Um, and I really hope one of those two situations is actually the case. I'd hate to think that this kid is really hurting and suffering, but anyways, that's kind of where I wanted to go with that, and just kind of get your guys' feel on kind of how you thought that was going, and are you seeing some of the same stuff? I look forward to your answers. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.